Good morning, everybody. This is Hot Rod Bob. You've got Gas, the morning edition, and with me is Craig, and he's going to tell us about this new battery pulse machine that he was talking about last night. If you watched Gas last night, oh, you missed it? You shouldn't have missed it last night. Oh, that's right. You couldn't have. Yeah, you could have. You could have been part of the audience. We'll tell you all about that later on. But we talked about a new operational machine, the battery saver. Now, here it is. It's in the box. We haven't taken this one out yet, but we put one on my 57 Ford, and it's working great. Craig, why don't you tell us a little bit about this, and I'll block me, and you start talking.
Oh, that's nice, Bob.
Yeah.
Well, the battery saver is a little different than what a battery charger is. It does charge the battery, but it also cleans the battery inside, and it maintains it in a way that normal battery chargers don't do.
How's that?
Well, a normal battery charger charges up to 100%, and then it shuts off. When it shuts off, because it doesn't want to overcharge, it comes back down about 20%, which is about 80, and then it starts charging again. During that period of time, it sulfates. And that's when your batteries, you notice that every 2 or 3 years you have to put a battery in a car, or if a car sets for a while, you have to put a battery in one, or they won't take a charge, or they've taken a charge and the charge isn't enough to really do any good. And that's because they get down below that 80%. I just put one of these on my forklift, and my forklift, we put a battery in it, and like, oh geez, maybe a couple times a year or something, because it goes for 2 weeks, then it shuts down, and we don't use it again for a while. Well, it showed that it was 40% of charge, but it had 12.7 charge in it. You'd turn it over, it just wouldn't start.
Okay.
So we put the smallest 10-watt one we have on it, and it's been on there since Monday. And now it's at 14, it was charging at 14, now it's 13.7. When your batteries, you notice that every 2 or 3 years you have to put a battery in a car, or if a car sets for a while, you have to put a battery. 10-watt one we have on it. Oops, there we go. Okay. Anyway, what this does is this will increase the battery life. Your batteries, you notice that every 2 or 3. And it'll take a battery that normally would go bad on you in a year or 2 years, and the batteries aren't as good as they used to be. And it'll make that battery hold up a lot longer, because it goes in and pulses the battery and keeps it at 100%. So if that battery is a battery that's you're using all the time, or you don't use all the time, like my Mustang, it eats batteries. It's got 8 coil packs, 3 computers. It's it uses a lot. Electric fuel pump. It would turn over and wouldn't start, and I would put the charger on there, and it still wasn't enough. I've had it on there 5 years now with one of these pulse chargers, and I haven't put a battery in it. Now, I'm not telling you that every time that's what you're going to get, but that's what I'm getting right now. So we decided to put these in as service tech, and we've had really good luck with them. People they're really nice. You can see they have an LCD on the front, and that LCD tells you what kind of condition it's in. Plus, it gives you the charge that's in that battery. So if you get in your hot rod and you want to go somewhere, you know that battery's still good. I mean, how many times have you got in there and your battery started the car but won't start the car the second time?
And Marlon, Craig's close to you. He's in Simi Valley on, what's the name of the street again?
Easy Street.
Easy Street. Well, the best street to be on.
Yeah.
And he's out there. He can come to you, though.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. You don't have to go into a showroom. Craig and his staff come to you. They're the ones that did the lifts in my garage as well. So they come out, they take care of it. We've got these. We just hooked it up to the 57 Ford, and I had a battery tender. One of these little $50 battery tenders you put on cars. And it kept the battery at 12 volts. At 13 volts is what we checked. But this unit, once we hooked it up, it gave us a lot of other information, including that even though it was registering at 13 volts, it was only 80% charged. So this unit came in and went in there and is now bringing it up to a full charge, and will cycle it, like Craig is saying, because you don't want the sulfation, which in layman's terms, it's kind of like crust or rust forming on the lead plates. That coats the plates, and it stops it from charging. What this does by varying it and pulsing it, it knocks that sulfation off, and there's a section at the bottom of the
Bob,
battery.
it actually melts it down.
Melts it down?
And puts it back into the electrolyte.
Okay, so then it's
I
working.
haven't touched the battery fluids in my Mustang since I put it in.
All right, so this way it's not going to fill up the bottom of the battery, short it out. That's what kills a lot of batteries, is the sulfation arcing and shorting out the internals of the battery. So this is what's going to take care of that. Now, as you can see, for those of you with older cars, it is 6 and 12 volt. I know it's backwards now because you're looking at the camera, but it's 6 and 12 volt. So you can use this on your antique cars that have not been upgraded to a 12 volt system and keep it going from there. And hi, John Mullen, how are you doing? And we are doing well. Marlon Mitchell tuned in again. Craig's in Simi Valley, not too far from you. Mark McGeorge did help me put the battery in there. Debbie Bradshaw, all the way from Tennessee, is watching us right now. Now, last night on GAAS, the evening edition, you talked about a special for these.
Absolutely.
And the people can do it by contacting you, and we'll put Service Tech's information on the website, on my Facebook page. It's already there in a couple of places. We'll put it up again. But if they mention GAAS, the Great American Auto Scene, or Bob Beck, it's a 10% discount.
10% discount till the end of the month.
10% till the end of the month. Check it out. It works. It comes with the cables, everything you need to plug it in and play and keep the car electrical system going.
So there's another facet to this that we were not talking about. You can plug this in on the battery and unplug the wall plug to it and literally diagnose the car. You can check the charging system, the cold cranking, everything. It's all off that LCD there. It's a great system. You don't have to do anything. It automatically changes over when it's running from charging to pulsing. It does everything for you. I was so excited when I got this. It took us a while to get this product. You'll see them at some of the car shows and stuff where I picked up mine. And now, we have all the products for it. If you have anything that you see that Battery Saver makes, we've got them in stock.
And this is a pulse charger. It maintains the battery. It tests the battery, and it cleans the plates on it so your battery lasts longer. And Matthew Garza, he's watching us right now.
Hey,
he knows about these things.
Matt.
Hi, Matt. How you doing this morning?
He's out there Riverside Flood, I think.
Yeah, John Gomes. Craig's not in Washington, but he can ship it to you. No problem. I know you got a lot of issues there with batteries up there, so he can definitely get that going with you. And John Mullen, good morning to you as well. So the Battery Saver, not just a charger, not just a little trickle charger, not a little battery maintainer. This one will take care of the battery as well as keep your car ready to fire when it's been parked for a while. And Craig and I talked about it. My car is set, unfortunately, a lot. I drive them when I can, but I'm lucky enough to have a few cars, and the wife feeds my need, and she has 3 of her own. So we keep these on our cars to make sure when we get into the car, turn the key, it fires up. Now, we ran into a problem with my Plymouth. I didn't have one of these on it. It took 2 hours of driving just to get it to refire again. I charged it. I put it on my regular standard battery charger, 35 amp charger, put it on there for an hour. It fired up. I drove it around the corner. I brought it back to the garage, came to a stop, shut it off. It wouldn't restart. We had to drive it for over 2 hours just to get that battery back to where it should be. This is now going to take care of that, and when I'm not driving it, it is going to hold it.
Well, Bob, there's another situation there. When people, they run their battery down, an alternator only puts 2 amps per hour back into a battery.
Okay.
So if you have a 750 amp battery, do the math. You got to drive a long time to charge it, and what happens is you get a surface charge on it, and you think you've got a charge, and you don't. And that's where the sulfation starts. You put this on, and you charge that battery up to full. I don't know how many people have said, I need a new battery, I need a new battery, after they've had that same situation. They don't need a battery. They need a good charge on the battery, and they need to clean the battery. And that's what this is all about.
And Richie's also saying the same thing. Now I got Robert Roth from a dealer down in the San Gabriel Valley area. This works great on used cars, on any car.
Any car.
Any battery. It's not limited to any specific type of battery. 6 or 12 volt. Plug it, play, go. It's got the same type of clips you would normally use on any other type of charger. They come with it, with the cabling. There's no problem with that. Just hook it up to the battery. Battery can be in the car or out of the car. It's up to you. But that's what it'll do.
See, the one we're showing right here is a 25 watt. We have a 50 watt. We've got a 36 volt. We got a 48 volt. We got a 24 volt. We have 10 watt, 12 watt, and 25s.
What's the suggested retail on this?
That one's like 100.
100.
Yeah.
All right. 10% off. Guys, it works. We've got them on my cars now, and they're going to work. 10% off. Oh, there's the number. Matthew just posted it for us. It's here on the page, 805-526-1262. 805-526-1262. Go to Service Tech Equipment. They've got a Facebook page as well. You can check that out there. And get one of these, especially if you store your cars like I do. I'm lucky. I've got a bunch of cars. The wife likes cars. We don't get to drive our cars all that often, and I've replaced every battery in the 4 cars I have in the garage this year because the cars have sat and the batteries just sulfate. So get this done and get one of these because it's better than those little cheapy battery tenders.
I've had the battery tenders catch on fire.
Yeah.
And that's when I got this one at a show a long time ago. And these don't. You can hook these up backwards, and they won't do anything.
Okay.
You can hook them on where they're plugged in. They won't spark. They won't set off the hydrogen gas. They're pretty good setup.
All right. High tech.
Yep.
Coming to you from Service Tech here in the Valley. Well, actually in Simi Valley.
In Simi Valley, that's the
But
valley.
they go all over Southern California. Craig will be there. He'll deliver it. Richie Rich will get out there and deliver it. We'll make him go out there and do it. Was Richie and Matthew the ones that put the lift in
There was
here?
2 of them, yeah.
So they came out and they did the installation on my lifts, made sure I was trained properly on its use and everything else. I'm Mike Jacobs. How are you doing? All right. So again, Service Tech. You can call them. They're here. They're in Simi Valley. Check out their page, Service Tech Equipment, here on Facebook, and you can contact them. Tell them you listen to us here on GAAS, the Great American Auto Scene. Tell them you're a gasaholic, and you listen to Bob and Craig this morning on GAAS. All right, I'm Hot Rod Bob. I'm going back out in the garage and working some cars. Craig's got some business he really needs to do. We're going to get him on the road. So, Matthew, don't worry. He's going to keep you busy. Richie, got a job already set up for you. So you guys have a great day. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got GAAS, the morning edition, brought to you by Service Tech, Service Equipment. When you need to get that car worked on in your garage, you got to have the proper stuff. Service Tech's got the tools and the equipment for you. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got GAAS. Take care.